what John the Revelator is seeing right here. Keep reading.
And him that sat on it.
And he saw Christ. Keep reading.
From whose face the earth and the heaven fled away.
From whose face the earth and the heavens fled away. Remember, in Genesis 1, 9 and 10, it tells you the earth is making reference to the different land masses. John said he saw the different islands, the different continents fleeing out of the way when Christ came. John also said he saw the heavens or the skies fleeing out of the way when Christ came. Keep reading.
And there was found no place for them.
And there was found no place for them. So I'm going to read it again. I'm going to read it in the NLT. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 11. It says, and I saw a great white throne and the one sitting on it. The earth and the sky fled from his presence, but they found no place to hide. So the heavens and the earth are going to perish or pass away in the day in which our Lord makes his return. Now, let's go from there. Let's go to Revelation chapter 21 and verse 1.
In the book of Revelation chapter 21, starting at verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
So after John saw the heavens and the earth flee from the presence of Christ, he said, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Keep reading.
For the first heaven.
For these heavens that you see today, read.
And the first earth.
And this earth that you see today, read.
Were passed away.
Had passed away or had perished, read.
And there was no more sea.
And there was no more sea. So let's get some understanding on what John saw. Let's read it again.
And I saw a new heaven.
John said, I saw a new heaven. Remember, the heaven is making reference to the skies. So John is telling you he saw a new skyline. Let's see what John saw. Give me the book of Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 7.
The book of Zechariah chapter 14, starting at verse 7. But it shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord. Not day nor night.
Not day nor night, read.
But it shall come to pass.
But it shall come to pass, read.
That at evening time.
That at evening time, what?
It shall be light.
It shall be light. So let's get some understanding on this verse. Read it again.
Verse 7. But it shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord.
You know, there's one particular day that's known to the Father only. There's one day that's only known to the Father. Let's see what day this is. Let's start in Mark 13. Let's start in Mark chapter 13. Let's read verse 32.
In the book of St. Mark, chapter 13, starting at verse 32.
Read.
But of that day.
But of that day, read.
And that hour.
And of that hour, read.
Knoweth no man.
Knoweth no man, read.
No, not the angels which are in heaven.
Not the angels which are in heaven. They don't know of that day or that hour, read.
Neither the Son.
Neither the Son of Man himself. He doesn't know of that day or that hour, read.
But the Father.
But the Father only. What day is this making reference to? Give me the book of Matthew chapter 24. Matthew 24 and 36.
The book of St. Matthew chapter 24 verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man.
Of that day and hour knoweth no man. No man alive knows and no man dead knows, read.
No, not the angels of heaven.
The angels in heaven don't know. Michael doesn't know. Raphael doesn't know. Gabriel doesn't know. Uriel doesn't know. None of the angels of heaven know about this day, read.
But my Father only.
Only Yahweh knows. Only the Father knows. Keep reading.
Verse 37.
Let's see what day this is talking about. Read.
But as the days of Noah were,
read.
So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Read the top of verse 36 again. So now we know what day this is talking about. Read.
Verse 36. But of that day.
But of that day. That day is making reference to the day of the coming of the Son of Man. Read it again.
But of that day. And hour.
That hour is making reference to the hour in which the Son of Man cometh. Read.
Know of no man.
No man knows of this day. Or hour in which the Son of Man is coming. Read.
No, not the angels of heaven.
There is no angel in heaven that knows of the day and the hour in which the Son of Man cometh. Read.
But my Father only.
Only the Father knows of the day and hour in which the Son of Man cometh. Let's go back to Zechariah 14.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 14, starting at verse 7. But it shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord.
This day that is known to the Lord only, this day that is known to the Father only, is the day in which the Son of Man cometh. Read it again.
Verse 7. But it shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord. Not day nor night.
Not day nor night. Why does it say that? Jump up to verse 6.
Verse 6. And it shall come to pass in that day.
And it shall come to pass in the day in which the Son of Man cometh. Read.
That the light shall not be clear.
The light is not going to be clear in this day. Keep reading.
Nor dark.
Nor this one day that's known to the Lord is that day in which the light shall not be clear nor dark. Read it again. Verse 7.
But it shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord. Not day nor night.
Not day, because the light shall not be clear. Not night, because it shall not be dark. Keep reading.
But it shall come to pass.
But it shall come to pass. What's the punctuation used there?
A colon.
So what is a colon used for? A colon is used to separate two independent clauses or two complete sentences, as long as the latter is used to illustrate or further explain the previous. Read that part again from but.
But it shall come to pass.
But it shall come to pass. Read.
That at evening.
That at evening time.
At evening time, it shall be light.
That at evening time, it shall be light. What is evening according to God? Give me that in Proverbs 7, please. Hold this. We coming right back. What is evening time according to God? Not according to the Caucasian. Not according to the Chinese. Not according to the Arab. What is evening according to God? Read that real quick.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 7, starting at verse 9. In the twilight.
Read.
In the evening.
In the twilight. In the evening. Read.
In the black and the dark night.
In the black and dark night. The evening is making reference to the black and dark night. Let's go back to the book of Zechariah. Let's read 14 and 7 again.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 14, starting at verse 7.
Read.
But it shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord.
There's one day which is known to the Father only. And this day is making reference to the day of the coming of the Son of Man. Keep reading.
Not day.
Not day, because the light shall not be clear in that day. Read.
Nor night.
Nor night, because it will not be dark in that day. Read.
But it shall come to pass.
But it shall come to pass. After this, it shall come to pass. Read.
That at evening time.
That at evening time, in the black, dark night. Read.
It shall be light.
It shall be light. Now, when is this going to occur? Keep reading, priest. Let's find out.
Verse 8. And it shall be in that day.
And it shall be in that day, when at evening time it shall be light. Read.
That living waters shall go out from Jerusalem.
That the living waters are going to go forth from Jerusalem. Read.
Half of them towards the former sea.
Half of them towards the former sea or the eastern sea. Read.
And half of them towards the hinder sea.
And half of them towards the hinder sea. Read.
In summer. And in winter.
In summer and in winter. Read.
Shall it be.
That shows you that in the kingdom we're going to have summer and winter as well. Or we're going to continue the seasons. But that's not the point. Keep reading.
And the Lord shall be king over all the earth.
And the Lord shall be king over all the earth. Read.
And that day shall there be one Lord. And his name one.
So when the Lord is the king over all the earth, that's when at evening time it's going to be light. Or when the king is or when the Lord is ruling over all the earth, in the evening time there will be light. Give me the book of Job, chapter 28. Job 28 and 3. So when the Lord is king over all the earth, at evening time there will be light. Job 28 and 3.
The book of Job, chapter 28, starting at verse 3.
Read.
He set up an end to darkness.
What the Bible say?
He set up an end to darkness.
The Lord has an appointed time in which darkness is going to come to an end. And you know when that's going to happen? When the Lord is king over the earth. and when the waters issue forth out of Jerusalem. Give me the book of Isaiah chapter 30. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 26.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, starting at verse 26. Moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun.
When the Lord is king over all the earth, the Bible says the moon is going to shine as bright as the sun does. Keep reading.
And the light of the sun,
and the light of the sun itself, read,
shall be sevenfold.
Is going to shine 7 times brighter than what it does today. Keep reading.
As the light of 7 days.
As the light of 7 days wrapped or rolled into one. Keep reading.
And the day that the Lord bindeth up the breach.
If you want to know when this is going to happen, the scriptures say it's going to happen in the day that the Lord bindeth up the breach of his people. Read.
The breach of his people, and healeth the stroke of their womb.
Give me the book of Revelation chapter 21 and verse 1 again.
The book of Revelation chapter 21, starting at verse 1.
Read.
And I saw a new heaven.
John said he saw a new heaven, meaning he saw a new skyline. When John looked up, he saw the moon shine as bright as the sun. When John looked up, he saw the sun shine 7 times brighter than what it does today. John didn't see any darkness. Read it again.
Verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
But John also saw a new earth. You know what? Go back to Genesis chapter 1 in case we forgot what the earth is making reference to. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 9.
The book of Genesis chapter 1, starting at verse 9. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place.
This is the creation of the ocean. Read.
And let the dry land appear.
And let the dry land appear. Keep reading.
And it was so.
And it was so. Read.
And God called the dry land earth.
And God called the dry land earth. So the earth is making reference to the dry land. The dry land is making reference to your different islands, your different continents. This is the dry land. Let's go to the book of Sirach chapter 16. Give me Sirach 16 and 18.
The book of Sirach chapter 16, starting at verse 18.
Read.
Behold, the heaven, and the heaven of heavens.
Take a look at the heaven. The heavens making reference to the skies. And then look past the heavens. And look to the heavens of the heavens. And that's making reference to outer space. Keep reading, priest.
The deep and the earth.
And look at the deep. Look at the ocean. Look at the earth. Meaning look at the different islands and the different continents or the different land masses. Keep reading.
And all that therein is.
And look at all the works that are in the earth. Keep reading.
Shall be moved.
Because everything is going to be moved. The earth itself shall be moved. The islands, the mountains, the continents shall be moved. Keep reading.
When he shall visit.
When the Lord visits. When the Lord visits on that great white throne to judge the earth in righteousness. Keep reading.
Verse 19. The mountains also.
What?
The mountains also.
The mountains also, read.
And the foundations of the earth shall be shaken with trembling.
Read.
When the Lord looketh upon them.
So the heaven and the heavens of the heavens, the deep, the earth, the mountains, the foundations of the earth shall be shaken and are going to be moved. Give me the book of Revelation chapter 6. And we want to read verse 14.
Revelation chapter 6, starting at verse 14.
Read.
And the heaven departed as a scroll.
And the heavens departed as a scroll. You know, a similar word for depart is to flee or fled. Remember earlier we read the heavens and the earth fled. Read that part again.
Verse 14. And the heavens departed as a scroll when it is rolled together.
Read.
And every mountain.
And every mountain, read.
And island.
And every island, read.
Were moved.
Were what?
Were moved.
Were what?
Were moved.
Read.
Out of their places.
And every mountain and every island shall be moved out of their places. The islands, the mountains, the continents, the different land masses are going to move out of their places in this day. And what day is this making reference to? Jump down to verse 17.
Verse 17. For the great day of his wrath is come.
So the islands and the mountains, or the earth and the heaven and the heavens of heavens, are going to be moved in the great day of his wrath. And the great day of his wrath equal to the day of the Lord's visitation, or the day that he visits the earth. And in this day, jump back up to verse 15 for me real quick.
Verse 15. And the kings of the earth.
And who?
And the kings of the earth. And the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountain.
They hid themselves in doomsday bunkers. Keep reading.
And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us,
Read.
and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne.
Read.
And from the wrath of the Lamb.
And from the wrath of the Lamb. Read.
For the great day of his wrath is come.
For the great day of his wrath is come. The Lord has visited. Read.
And who shall be able to stand?
And who shall be able to stand? Let's go back to the book of Revelation chapter 21 and let's read verse 1 again.
The book of Revelation chapter 21, starting at verse 1.
Read.
And I saw a new heaven.
John saw a new heaven, meaning he saw a new skyline. He saw a skyline in which the sun shines 7 times brighter than what it does today. He saw a skyline in which the moon shines like the sun. He saw a skyline in which there was no darkness. Keep reading.
And a new earth.
And he saw a new earth. He saw those islands and those mountains and those continents that were moved out of their places, rearranged. He saw a new topography and a new geography. Keep reading, priest.
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, or had perished. Keep reading.
And there was no more sea.
And there was no more sea.